Do-Won Kim stood before the massive holographic display, his three eyes blinking in sequence as he studied the data streams. The blue light from the screen reflected off his silvery skin, creating patterns that danced across the observation deck. For the past 30 years, he had led the observation division at the Galactic Research Institute, continuing the work of countless researchers before him. 70,000 years of studying humans, and they still managed to surprise him every day. Lead researcher Kim, "You might want to see this," called out his assistant, sliding a data tablet across the smooth metal desk. The tablet showed footage from observation post 247, located in what humans called Wisconsin. A human child had found one of their hidden sensors, and instead of reporting it or running away in fear, had turned it into a birdhouse. Do-Won rubbed his central eye. "Add it to the unexpected human reactions folder," he said, his translator converting his natural chirps into standard galactic basic. "That makes the 47th sensor repurposed this solar cycle." The vast chamber hummed with the sound of quantum computers processing data from millions of observation points across Earth. Each screen showed a different aspect of human life. Their primitive vehicles moving in chaotic patterns, their basic dwellings being modified for no apparent reason, their strange habit of keeping other species as pets. "Sir," a young analyst called from her station, "I'm seeing another anomaly in the behavioral patterns." Do-Won glided over to her station, his hover disk humming softly. The analyst, a fresh graduate named Yun-Hee, pointed to a graph that made absolutely no sense. "According to our models," she explained, "humans should be focusing their resources on solving their climate crisis. Instead, they're spending significant energy creating something called cat videos and arguing about whether a food item called pineapple belongs on pizza." Do-Won clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. "Cross-reference this with the historical behavior database." The computer churned through millions of data points before displaying its results. Throughout human history, this species had consistently devoted enormous resources to activities that served no apparent survival purpose. They created art when they should have been hunting, told stories when they should have been building defenses, and danced when they should have been preparing for winter. Yet somehow, they had survived. More than survived, they had thrived. Lead researcher Kim, the station's AI announced, "The Council is requesting your quarterly report." Do-Won looked at the chaos of information before him. How could he explain to the Galactic Council that humans were advancing their technology by accident while trying to make better coffee, or that they had discovered crucial medical treatments while attempting to create more convincing artificial banana flavoring? He began composing his report. Humanity continues to defy standard developmental models. They persist in achieving significant advances through entirely unscientific methods. This week, a human teenager accomplished faster-than-light communication while trying to improve their Wi-Fi to play something called online games. Do-Won paused, considering his next words carefully. The council valued precision and logic above all else. How could he make them understand a species that operated on what seemed to be controlled chaos? In conclusion, he continued, "I must again request additional research funding. We must expand our observation protocols to account for human unpredictability. Their seeming illogic appears to follow patterns we have yet to understand." As he finished his report, another alert flashed across his screen. Somewhere in a place called Florida, a human had trained an alligator to act as a security system for their small business. Do-Won added it to his ever-growing file of things humans really shouldn't be able to do. Just another normal day studying the most puzzling species in the galaxy. Jaya Park ran through the curved hallways of the research station, her feet barely touching the polished floor. Her usual calm was gone. After 5 years as an assistant researcher, she had never seen anything like this. She burst into Do-Won's office without announcing herself, something she had never done before. "Lead researcher, the humans, they've done it." She had to catch her breath. "They've achieved faster-than-light travel." Do-Won dropped his morning nutrition cube. "Impossible. Our models predicted they were at least 200 years away from that discovery. Jaya held up her data pad with shaking hands. The screen showed a small human research facility in a place called Minnesota. A group of college students and their professor had been working late one night, trying to make their coffee maker work faster. They were trying to speed up their coffee machine. Do-One's three eyes blinked rapidly. How did this lead to faster-than-light travel? According to their research notes, Jaya read, they were super tired and really needed caffeine. They mixed up some equations while putting together a new heating system for their coffee maker. One of them wrote down a physics formula wrong because they were half asleep. Do-One moved to his main screen, bringing up the human facility's security footage. The recording showed 5 young humans in rumpled clothes, surrounded by empty energy drink cans. They were arguing about coffee brewing temperatures when suddenly, their coffee maker disappeared. It reappeared 2 seconds later on the other side of the room. The humans are calling it the coffee machine incident, Jaya explained. They've already started building bigger versions of the device. They're planning to put it on a spaceship next week. Next week. Do-One's color changed to a pale blue of shock. That's not possible. There should be years of testing, decades of theoretical work. Sir, Jaya pulled up more data. They're saying, and I quote, it worked on the coffee maker, so it should work on a spaceship too. What's the worst that could happen? Do-One sank into his hover chair. Contact the council immediately. They need to know about this. But before Jaya could send the message, another alert flashed across their screens. The humans had already built a prototype ship. They had used parts from old cars, some modified gaming computers, and something they called the microwave dinner heating system. They can't be serious, Do-One whispered. This goes against every safety protocol in the galaxy. The security footage from the human facility showed them wheeling their spaceship out of a garage. It looked like it was held together with duct tape and hope. The head scientist was wearing a t-shirt that said, "Hold my coffee and watch this." Sir, Jaya checked her readings again. They're planning to test it today. Their safety precautions consist of, and again I'm quoting, wearing helmets and bringing extra coffee. Do-One watched in horror as the humans powered up their ship. According to all known science, it should have exploded. According to all logical predictions, it should have failed spectacularly. Instead, the ship vanished in a flash of light. 3 seconds later, it reappeared. The humans climbed out, cheering and high-fiving each other. One of them was already posting about it on something called social media. How? Do-One asked nobody in particular. How do they keep doing this? Jaya looked at her data pad, which was now filled with messages from confused researchers across the station. Sir, should I tell the council that humans have achieved faster-than-light travel because they were too impatient to wait for their coffee? Do-One stared at the celebration on the screen. The humans were now ordering pizza to celebrate their breakthrough in physics. Tell the council. Tell them we need to revise every prediction we've ever made about human development. Again, Tahoe Lee was having the worst day of his 300-year career. As senior analyst of human technology, he had always been proud of the perfect hiding systems that kept their observation stations secret. But now, everything was falling apart. They found another one, he reported to Do-One, his voice shaking. That's the 5th station this week. A human ship is currently circling our base near what they call Jupiter. He pulled up the video feed on the main screen. The human ship was small and had colorful stickers all over it. A hand-painted sign on its side read, Space Whale Research Vessel Number 7. Space whales? Do-One asked, his translator struggling with the term. There are no such creatures. Exactly, Taiho said. The humans made them up. They decided space whales might exist, so they built ships to look for them. And somehow, while searching for imaginary creatures, they found our perfectly hidden stations. The screen showed 3 humans in spacesuits decorated with whale stickers. They were taking pictures of the cloaked station, which should have been completely invisible to their technology. How did they detect us? Do-Won demanded. Tai-Ho checked his notes. According to their radio chatter, they had a feeling something was there because, and I quote, the stars looked a bit funny in that spot. Do-Won's color changed to deep purple with frustration. They found us by looking at stars. It gets worse. Tai-Ho brought up another screen. They're live streaming everything to their internet. They're calling us shy space neighbors and trying to get us to come out by offering us something called hot chocolate. The humans had now attached speakers to their ship. The sound of whale songs mixed with pop music filled space around the station. They had also put up a large sign that read, "Don't be shy. We brought snacks." "Sir," a junior analyst called from her station, 3 more human ships just arrived. One of them is throwing a space party. Indeed, the new ships had brought what appeared to be party supplies. They were setting up floating tables and spreading out food in sealed containers. One ship was trying to hang something called a "Welcome to the Neighborhood" banner in zero gravity. "This is impossible," Tai-Ho muttered, watching the humans set up their impromptu space party. "Our cloaking technology is based on advanced quantum mechanics. We've used it successfully for thousands of years across hundreds of species. And humans found it while looking for made-up space whales," Do-Won finished. He watched as more human ships arrived, each bringing different kinds of food and drinks. "What are they doing now?" Tai-Ho zoomed in on one of the ships. They're having a barbecue in space. They've modified their ship's heat shields to work as a grill. The humans had indeed created a safe way to barbecue in space, solving several complex engineering problems in the process, apparently just so they could cook burgers while waiting for their shy space neighbors to come out. "Should we?" Tai-Ho hesitated. "Should we maintain radio silence?" Do-Won watched as the humans started playing a game they called Space Frisbee around their hidden station. More ships were arriving. Someone had brought a space-modified karaoke machine. "Send an alert to all stations," Do-Won said finally. "Tell them to prepare for first contact. It seems the humans have decided to meet us, whether we're ready or not." "And sir," Tai-Ho asked, "what should we do about the party?" Do-Won looked at the growing celebration outside their station. The humans had now formed a welcome committee and were discussing what music aliens might like. "Mark this day in the records," he said. "The day humans found us, not through advanced technology or careful scientific study, but because they were looking for imaginary whales and decided to throw a party when they found us instead." Harin Choi, the team's xenobiologist, stood nervously beside Do-Won as they prepared to open their station's outer doors. After 70,000 years of secret observation, they were about to meet humans face to face. "Remember the protocol," Do-Won told his team. "We must maintain proper diplomatic procedures. No sudden movements. No emotional displays. We are representatives of the Galactic Research Institute." The humans, however, had other ideas. As soon as the airlock opened, a young human woman floated in and immediately took a selfie with the stunned aliens. "This is going straight to Instagram," she announced cheerfully. "Can I tag you guys?" "I'd what?" Harin's careful study of human languages hadn't prepared her for this situation. More humans followed, carrying containers of food and something they called party supplies. One of them, wearing a cooking apron over his spacesuit, started setting up what he called a space grill. "You guys must be starving after hiding here for so long," he said, opening a cooler. "Want a burger? I brought both regular and veggie options. You know, in case aliens are vegetarian." Do-Won tried to start his carefully prepared speech about galactic civilization. "Honored representatives of Earth, we come in." "Oh my gosh, you guys are so sparkly," another human interrupted, fascinated by their silvery skin. "Is that natural, or do you use some kind of space moisturizer?" Harin checked her scientific instruments in confusion. The human showed no fear, no aggression, not even proper caution. Instead, they were excited, happy. They acted like they were meeting new neighbors at a block party, rather than an advanced alien civilization. "I'd brought board games," announced one human, pulling out several boxes. "I figured even aliens must like Monopoly, though we might need to explain Earth money first." The research team watched in bewilderment as their carefully controlled first contact turned into what humans called a hangout session. Someone had even brought a playlist of what they thought might be alien-friendly music. "Fascinating," Heron muttered, taking notes. "They've completely ignored standard first contact procedures, yet somehow they're making this work." A small human child floated up to Do-One, offering him a wrapped package. "We brought you cookies," she said. "Mom says everyone likes cookies." Do-One stared at the gift, his three eyes blinking rapidly. Nowhere in his 7 centuries of training had anyone mentioned what to do when a human child offers you baked goods during first contact. "These humans," he whispered to Heron, "they're not afraid of us at all, are they?" Heron shook her head, watching as more humans arrived, each bringing different foods and gifts. "No, sir. In fact, they seem to think this is fun." The humans had now started a game of what they called space tag, using the zero gravity to push off walls and float around the station. They had invited several junior researchers to join, and to everyone's surprise, some of the younger aliens were actually participating. "Sir," Heron said, checking her readings again, "according to my instruments, this is going well. The humans are building positive relationships through social interaction and food sharing. It's unorthodox, but effective." Do-One watched as his carefully trained research team was slowly drawn into the impromptu party. One of his analysts was learning something called the moonwalk from a human teenager. Another was being taught how to make s'mores with a specially designed space campfire. "Add this to the report," he told Heron. "Humans have turned first contact with an alien species into a neighborhood barbecue, and somehow it's working better than any diplomatic protocol we've ever designed. Should we try to get them to follow proper procedures?" Heron asked. Do-One looked at the cheerful chaos around him, then at the cookie still in his hand. "No," he said finally. "Sometimes the human's way, as strange as it seems, might actually be the right way." Sun Mei-Kang had spent 50 years preparing for this moment. As the lead cultural expert, she had created the perfect presentation to introduce humans to galactic civilization. She had charts, graphs, and carefully prepared speeches about advanced technology. None of that mattered now. "But do aliens have TikTok?" a human teenager asked, interrupting Sun Mi's presentation about faster-than-light travel. "And can we follow each other on space social media?" Sun Mi looked at her unused slides about quantum physics. We don't have TikTok. We have the Galactic Knowledge Network, which contains millions of years off." "Oh, we should make one for you," another human suggested excitedly. "We can do alien dance challenges." The meeting room, which was supposed to host a serious cultural exchange, had turned into something very different. Humans had brought their pets, including several dogs wearing tiny spacesuits. One of the dogs was now chasing its tail in zero gravity, while the alien researchers watched in fascination. "Please," Sun Mi tried again, "we should discuss your integration into galactic society. We have 5,000 years of protocols to cover." A human raised her hand. "That's cool and all, but first, super important question. Do you guys have space cats? Please tell me there are space cats." "No, we don't have space cats," Sun Mi replied. "We have highly advanced robotic companions that." "We should show them cat videos," someone shouted from the back of the room. Everyone loves cat videos. Before Sun Mi could object, the humans had hijacked the main display screen. Her careful presentation about galactic politics was replaced by videos of Earth cats doing silly things. To her horror, several senior alien scientists were watching with great interest. "Look at how it fits in that tiny box," one alien researcher whispered in awe. "The physics make no sense." "Excuse me," a human scientist approached Sun Mi. "We made you something." He held up a t-shirt that read "Best Aliens Ever" with a crude drawing of their species on it. "We're getting matching ones made for everyone." Sunma stared at the shirt. In all her years of cultural research, no species had ever given her a t-shirt during first contact. The humans had also started sharing their food. They called it a potluck and insisted that it was the best way to learn about each other's cultures. The research station's cafeteria was now full of dishes from every Earth country. Try the tacos, a human urged an alien physicist. But be careful with the hot sauce. We're not sure how alien stomachs handle spicy food. Sunmai watched as her fellow researchers cautiously tried Earth foods. Some discovered they loved chocolate. Others found they couldn't handle caffeine and started floating around the room in excitement after one sip of coffee. "Ma'am," her assistant whispered, "what should we do? This isn't following any of our cultural exchange protocols." Sunma looked around the room. Humans were teaching aliens how to play video games. Someone had started a dance lesson. A group of scientists from both species was trying to explain memes to each other. "You know what?" she said, taking off her formal robe. "Maybe we need new protocols." She watched as a human child taught an alien elder how to do a fist bump. The elder was delighted, showing other aliens this new greeting. "Add this to the cultural database," Sunmai told her assistant. "Humans don't just share knowledge through formal channels. They share it through food, games, jokes, and cat videos." "Should we be concerned?" her assistant asked. "No," Sunma smiled, accepting a plate of something called pizza from a friendly human. "I think we're learning more about humans this way than we did in 70,000 years of observation." Somewhere in the background, someone started playing Earth music, and a spontaneous dance party began. Sunma looked at her abandoned presentation one last time, then joined the celebration. After all, she was a cultural expert, and this was definitely part of human culture. The emergency alarms woke Do-One from his rest cycle. Red lights flashed across the research station as he rushed to the control room. The sight that greeted him made his three hearts stop. A fleet of Drachnid warships had appeared near Earth's moon. The Drachnids were known across the galaxy as ruthless conquerors who collected planets like humans collected stamps. "How many ships?" Do-One asked Taiho, who was already at his station. 300 warships, Taiho replied, his voice shaking. "Each one capable of destroying a small continent. They're demanding Earth's immediate surrender." Do-One felt sick. The humans had just discovered space travel. They weren't ready for this. "Start evacuation procedures," he ordered. "We need to save as many humans as we can before." "Sir," Jaya interrupted, staring at her screen. "The humans are responding to the Drachnids." "With their military?" Do-One asked hopefully. "No, sir," Jaya said, sounding confused. "With memes. Lots of memes." The main screen showed thousands of human social media posts. They were turning pictures of the threatening Drachnid ships into jokes. Someone had already put cat ears on one of the warships and added the caption, "Space Chonker does a threat." "This is no time for jokes," Do-One said. "They need to evacuate." But the humans weren't done. They had started a trend called #Drachnid Challenges. People were dressing up as Drachnids in silly costumes. Someone had written a song about them that was quickly going viral. "Sir," Taiho reported, "the Drachnids are confused. Their commanders are trying to understand why humans aren't afraid." On screen, the humans had started sending the Drachnids pictures of cute animals. Every threat was met with photos of puppies and kittens. Someone had even made a dating profile for the Drachnid Supreme Commander, suggesting they'd need a hug. "The Drachnid's communication system is being overwhelmed," Jaya reported. "Humans are sending them so many memes and cat videos that their ship's computers are starting to crash." Do-One watched in amazement as humanity's greatest weapon turned out to be their sense of humor. The Drachnid fleet, designed to resist the most advanced weapons, had no defense against viral videos and internet jokes. "Update," Taiho called out. "Humans have hacked the Drachnid's main communication channel. They're playing something called Never Gonna Give You Up on repeat to all ships." The Drachnid fleet was in chaos. Their strict military discipline was useless against an enemy that responded to death threats with dance challenges. Some Drachnid ships were actually starting to retreat. New development, Jaya said. Humans are now offering the Drachnids a peace deal. They're inviting them to something called a Space Comic Con and offering to teach them about Earth culture. Do-1 couldn't believe his eyes. The mighty Drachnid fleet, terror of the galaxy, was being defeated by memes and party invitations. The Drachnid commander is responding, Taiho announced. Everyone held their breath. On screen, the fearsome Drachnid leader appeared, looking thoroughly confused. The commander said, we accept your invitation to this Comic-Con, but no more of those cat videos. Please. The humans cheered. Within hours, they had turned the almost invasion into a cultural festival. Former Drachnid warships were being decorated for a parade. Someone had already started selling t-shirts that said, I survived the Drachnid invasion, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Add this to the records, Do-1 told his still-stunned team. Humans defeated an invasion force not with weapons, but with jokes, cat videos, and party invitations. And somehow, it worked better than any military strategy in galactic history. In the background, he could hear humans teaching Drachnid soldiers how to do the Macarena. Somewhere, a group was planning an intergalactic food festival. Maybe, Do-1 said quietly. We've been studying the wrong things about humans all along. Their real power isn't in their technology or their weapons. It's in their ability to make friends out of enemies and turn fear into laughter. Do-1 sat at his desk, staring at the blank screen before him. After 70 years of direct contact with humans, he had to write his final report for the Galactic Council. How could he explain what he had learned? He began typing. Final report on human species study. I lead researcher Do-1 Kim. Duration of study, 70,070 years. Dear Council members, I quit. Not because the job is too hard, but because I finally understand something important. The more we try to study humans, the less we actually understand them. Let me explain through examples. Last week, a human child's toy robot broke. Instead of getting a new one, she rebuilt it and accidentally created a new type of artificial intelligence. She named it Mr. Sparkles and taught it to play hopscotch. 3 days ago, a human teenager mixed up their chemistry homework with their grandmother's cookie recipe. The result? They discovered a new way to clean up ocean pollution. They called it the cookie cleanup method. Yesterday, a human astronaut got lost in space because they were chasing their escaped pet hamster. While lost, they found a new galaxy. They named it Hamster's Home and sent us pictures with little drawn hearts around them. These are not exceptions. This is how humans work. They succeed by accident. They make friends by mistake. They solve problems by not knowing they're supposed to be impossible. Our most advanced prediction models can't handle humans because humans don't follow logic. They'd follow their hearts, their jokes, and sometimes their cats. Remember the Drachnid incident? Our military experts are still trying to understand how sharing cat videos and memes stopped an invasion. The Drachnids are now regular guests at something called Comic-Con and have started their own YouTube channel. Humans have turned our research stations into community centers. They organize monthly potluck dinners where scientists from 50 different planets share food and stories. Last month, they started an intergalactic book club. They've even changed how we work. My team no longer wears formal robes. We wear t-shirts with silly science jokes on them. The humans gave them to us as gifts. Mine says, trust me, I'm a space scientist with a cartoon alien on it. So, after all these years, here is my conclusion. Humans are chaos that works. They are impossible things that happen anyway. They are mistakes that turn into miracles. They are jokes that solve problems. They are friends who don't know they're supposed to be enemies. My recommendation: stop trying to understand humans. Instead, learn from them. They taught us that sometimes the best way to do something is the wrong way. Sometimes the best answer is a joke. Sometimes the best science happens by accident. I am not retiring. I'm going to live among humans and learn their ways. Several other researchers are joining me. We're going to something called a barbecue this weekend. The humans have a saying. Life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. After 70,000 years, I finally understand what that means. Final recommendation. Classify humans as beautifully chaotic and accept that some species are simply beyond conventional understanding. P.S. They've invited the entire Galactic Council to something called a beach party next month. I suggest you attend. Bring sunscreen and something called a potato salad. Respectfully submitted, Do-Won Kim. Lead researcher, retiring. Currently learning to break dance. Do-Won finished the report and sent it. Then he looked at his calendar. The humans had planned a surprise party for his retirement, which he wasn't supposed to know about, but everyone had accidentally told him anyway. He smiled, his three eyes twinkling. Maybe not understanding humans was the best way to understand them after all. On his desk sat a coffee mug given to him by his team. It read, 70,000 years studying humans, and all I got was this amazing adventure. He couldn't have said it better himself.